Is he gone yet? I'm hiding from that big bad wolf. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to be baking up some Halloween treats. So stick around and I'll show you how to make some mummy brownies and some Butterfinger Fudge. All right, so we're going to start with our mummy brownies, which is just a regular homemade brownie mix. But we're going to make them look like mummies at the end. It's going to be fun. So you're going to preheat your oven to 350. I've got my 11 by 7 pan here. You can use a 12 by 8, whatever you prefer for your brownies. If you want them thicker, you can go smaller. If you want them thinner, you can go by 13 by 9 pan if you like. Okay, so we're going to start with our ingredients here. I've got 1 cup of unsalted butter. I melted it and then I cooled it down. Add this to our bowl, okay. And 2 tablespoons of oil, canola or vegetable, whatever you prefer. 1 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of brown sugar, light or dark, but you know what I prefer. And we're gonna whisk this up until that's combined. It's pretty good. Okay, then we're gonna add our 4 eggs in, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And let's whisk this up until it gets into a little lighter color. Now let's take our whisk out. A few lumps in there from the brown sugar, that's all right. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredients, which is 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cocoa powder. That's unsweetened cocoa powder, by the way. 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're just gonna fold this in, okay? We're gonna fold it around. You don't want to over mix it. Just nice and gentle. Okay, that looks great. And now we're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, or you can use milk chocolate chips, whatever you prefer. And you can use less or more chips if you like. I just want to just gently fold that one in as well.
I get to lick the bowl after this.
We're gonna fight for it. That wolf's gonna find you first. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our pan. We're gonna pour this into our pan. Okay, spread it out. Doesn't that look delicious? It's gonna be nice and thick. And these are gonna go in your oven, 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. And then you let them come out and cool, and then we'll cut them up, and then we'll decorate them with our little mummy wraps. And then when we come back, I'll show you how to make that Butterfinger Fudge. So now let's start with that Butterfinger Fudge. Get out your 8 by 8 pan or 9 by 9, line it with foil, spray some oil on it, grease. And as you can see, these are the ingredients we'll be using here. And you see no Butterfinger bars. These are ingredients that are gonna help us make that fudge taste so good. So we're gonna start off by putting in our peanut butter, 1 cup of peanut butter, creamy peanut butter. And we got 3 cups of candy corn. You can throw pumpkins in there, whatever you like. And we are gonna put this on low heat. Now this one's gonna take a while. We're gonna let it just kind of cook for about 3 minutes. We're just gonna stir it around. The first step is about 3 minutes. No, the big bad wolf is coming to get me. Hey, Clyde, are you my big bad wolf? No, he's my big nice wolf. All right, peanut butter is melting, but your candy corn's still gonna hold its shape for a while. So don't freak out, okay? All right, as you can see a little bit, starting to kind of melt a little bit there. Okay, we're gonna add in our 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And we're gonna cook this for another 3 minutes. You don't have to constantly stir it, maybe every 30 seconds. You don't want this to boil. You just want it to, a slow simmer is good. And by the way, this is 3 cups of candy corn, but a 20-ounce bag is perfect. Okay, so it's been about another 3 minutes. So now we're gonna add in 2 cups of white chocolate chips. And we're gonna stir this around. And yes, it's gonna take a little time for everything, but as soon as it all melts together and everything's melted, you're gonna take it off the heat and we're gonna pour it into our pan. This is gonna be hot, so be careful. Spread it out. We're gonna let it sit out for about 20 minutes and then we'll pop them in the fridge for about another hour or 2, and then we'll cut them in squares, and then we'll melt some chocolate and we'll drizzle some chocolate over it, and then we'll taste it. Ooh, it's starting to get spooky in here. It's getting dark outside and that storm's rolling in. And I haven't seen the wolf yet, but he's gonna find me soon, so we better get this buttercream frosting going for our brownies. We've got 1/4 cup of unsalted butter in here, and I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar to this, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Add about 1/2 and 1/2 over here. We're gonna add a little bit at a time. Could be, we'll start with a teaspoon. That might be all we need. Just whip this around for about a minute or 2. Get nice and fluffy. What was that? Great. And now we're just going to scoop it into our pastry bag over here. And drop it in. Okay, and now we have our bandages, wraps, whatever you call it, that go around our mummies. All right, so now it's time to wrap these mummies. Here we go. Brush with your flat tip a little bit. Zigzag. And then I got some scary eyeballs over here. Oops, he's got 3 eyes. Oh well, that's okay. Now, isn't that cute? Look at those mummy brownies. Shall we taste it? I'm always up for that. I've never had a mummy brownie before. That's moist. Now that's scary good. It's time to move on to the Butterfinger Fudge. Okay, so I cut a few squares of our Butterfinger Fudge, and I got a 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips, and I added a 1/2 teaspoon of vegetable oil to it, or canola oil. Stuck it in the microwave for 1 minute, and I mixed it around, so now we got this little texture of melted chocolate. You don't want it too runny. And we're gonna put it into our pastry bag here. And there's nothing at the end. I didn't cut it yet. Okay, we're gonna wait to do that. All right, so now we're just gonna put it into our bag. Try to get it all the way to the bottom if you can. Tip off at the end. Just so we do a little drizzle over our fudge. Probably good there. This is still warm, okay? So after you do drizzle it on, you're gonna wanna stick it back in the refrigerator just to set the chocolate a little bit. You can also just put some in a bowl and dip your squares right into it. And this fudge has a little more of a chewy texture, but it's delicious. And I'm about to try one for you. Oh my goodness! You didn't want me this whole time. He wanted my Butterfinger Fudge. Hey, you better get your finger off my Butterfinger. Well, thanks for joining me on this episode of Melanie Makes a Homemade. And I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time. I gotta taste my Butterfinger Fudge. I can't forget. Now that's tasty. Bye everyone. Have a safe and fun Halloween.